Hey guys, Christian here. Welcome to Indie Rockers Ball. It's our Artist Spotlight special, and today I'm happy to introduce to you the usual suspects. Take it away, boys.
It's a black hole that we're falling in, hoping my soul will rise again. As you keep a straight face, though you wanna laugh, as you wake up to the aftermath. Now the smart ones wanna tell you now how to live your life like you don't know how. And the old ones say you'll never learn. Keep living your life this way and you'll surely burn. Hey mama, hey papa, would you leave me well? Bad decisions, indiscretions, oh, out of get so addicted, can't get past it, though I tried and tried. Papa, don't hate me, I'll get better. Mama, please don't cry. Hear the stories of a life gone wrong. Hear the regrets of the words in the song. As time passes you by, you so you never go down this road again. But tomorrow is a different day, and you forget all the things you said as you make your escape from this life you live. So hey mama, hey papa, would you leave me well? Bad decisions, indiscretions, oh, I'd give. So addicted, can't get past it, though I tried and tried. Papa, don't hate me, I'll get better. Mama, please don't cry. You gotta inhale, hold in, exhale, repeat. Fast to the left, feel numb from your head to your feet. See your life fast before your eyes as you watch it burn. Hear the hands on the clock, laughing that she has the turn. Sitting paralyzed there on the couch. Just take one last drag before you pass out. Eyes bloodshot red as you dead to the world. What you got to never with your boys and your girls. Got every pizza place there on speed dial. Drinking like a sailor, smoke from all lights. The call you a sinner and you just grin. Anticipating the moment you can light up again. Hey mama, hey papa, would you leave me well? Bad decisions, indiscretions, oh, I'd guess. So addicted, can't get past it, though try and try. Papa, don't hate me, I'll get better. Mama, please don't cry. Say, Papa, don't hate me, I'll get better. Mama, please don't cry.
Hello everybody, welcome to Indie Rockers Ball, and I'm sitting here with the usual suspects. Say hi guys.
Hey, what's up?
If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Cook.
I'm Mike Lynch.
George. Brandon.
And I'm Sam.
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself? Anything interesting right off the bat?
All right. Well, we kind of started this band. As I was saying earlier, it's kind of been like an ongoing project for like the last year and a half. It started out with Mike and George, and then around May or June we added Brandon, and then come August Sam came in the band, and that formed the Usual Suspects. So, we've been playing together since August, and I don't really know how to like describe our sound because our influences are so diverse. Like Sam, he's like really into jazz and different types of music. Brandon's like indie rock, alternative rock. George really he's really into jam music. Mike's a classically trained pianist, and like his influences are really diverse. And like I grew up on country, so like that'll come out in my music sometimes. So we're like a really diverse band.
It sounds like an eclectic mix, so I'm sure it really forms together a really interesting sound. Is we just heard in your first song, Bob's House Party. How did that song come about? How's the name? What's it about?
Well, it's a song that I wrote when I was working at a bar one night, and I mean, it just kind of came to me, and that's usually how my songs come to me, and it's really just about like partying and having a good time, and how people, you know, people like to tell you what to do and like how to live your life and whatever, but you kind of have to decide for yourself how you want to live and, you know, what you want to do with your life. And you know, it's got kind of like I don't know, it's got kind of like a reggae feel to it, and it's like a really fun song to play. It's probably my favorite song to play when we play it out.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The Usual Suspects is a pretty interesting name. I know when we were talking about it, it's kind of funny how it comes up in conversation, you know, The Usual Suspects. How'd you guys come up with the name?
You want to take that one, Mike?
Yeah, sure. Well, I saw a clip for the movie. I don't know, I guess back in the summer. We were under a different name last year. George and I, the bassist, we were in a band together last year. We had a different name, and we wanted to start a new band this year, Cook and I, with these guys, and I don't know, The Usual Suspects just seemed appropriate for everybody's demeanor in the band, and it's catchy, you know, like you said, it comes up in conversation, so I think it fits pretty well for the band.
I know as far as scheduling, I'm sure it gives some people some laughs, you know, well, who's up for this week? Oh, it's The Usual Suspects, and you're just kind of, who, what?
Yeah.
So I'm sure, do you have any good stories, like any confusion over that, booking shows?
I mean, as far as I know, I don't think there's been confusion with the name. It was probably most difficult when his fiance set up a MySpace page for us, and she got on MySpace and learned that The Usual Suspects is kind of a common name for a lot of unsigned bands. So a lot of people are under that, so it was kind of hard to distinguish that difference when you're on a network with so much similar names. But as far as booking, I don't think there's been very many issues. You'd have to talk to these guys about that.
I think for the most part, it does. Like sometimes people, it raises some eyebrows. Will go, The Usual Suspects, like they'll question it. But I guess really our fingers crossed that, you know, if we do make it big, we make it big before those other bands, so we get to keep the name.
Right. Do you have any not backup names, but any other names you were considering in case such an event would happen? Or any, maybe like a joke, because I know there's usually a joke name, like, oh, we call ourselves the Filing Cabinets, or...
I mean, it was funny, because it seemed like every time we played a show, we'd be under a different name for, like, the longest time. And, like, honestly, it'd be, like, one show, I think we went by Acoustic Tragedy, which is a band name that I went under, like, freshman year. And then the next show would be, like, The Vintage, and then the next show would be, like, Wait for Green, or something like that. And it was just, like, an ongoing thing. And then finally, like, I guess we settled on The Usual Suspects, and we've been going by that ever since.
Well, it seems like it's stuck. Coming up next, I believe you guys are going to play Clothes?
Clothes of Sand,
Clothes
written
of
by
Sand.
our guitarist, Brandon Penn.
Okay. Well, what was the inspiration for that song, Brandon?
That song dates back to when I was a senior in high school, and my friend and I, for a senior project, we made our own CD, and it was really really ghetto the way that we did it. Like we did the vocals in the bathtub and just recorded it at my house on a 4-track with a cassette tape and everything. And he came up with the words for it, and it just it's kind of a smooth sounding song. So we've kind of kept that. And
yeah, I happened to hear it one day. It was on his computer, and I heard the song, and you know, I really liked what it had in it, even though it was real rough.
Yeah.
So I told him, let's learn this one. Let's try and get it together. And it's changed a good bit since
yeah,
we started working on it.
Everybody's brought their own.
Yeah, we all brought our own influences to it, and
Right.
it's really evolved. And it's my favorite song to play. I like it a lot.
Okay. Well, we'll let you guys get a look. Here's The Usual Suspects with Clothes of Sand.